What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It is the Thursday night Gridiron show. It is your boy Big Brother. What's up? What's up? Bringing in what we got. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of sports games to talk about. It is our week 16 rundown of Thursday night football and Saturday night football as well. We have a lot to cover, but first, let's introduce our great commentator. Them guys. So, them guys. We have Connor. Yep. Welcome back, Connor. Welcome back.
Howdy.
I wish I had like the clap soundboard, whatever.
The applause button.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can pull that up for you right now.
We have the legend himself, Tom Brady's #1 fan, Bill. Yeah. How you doing, Bill?
Hey, what's going on? And Tom Brady still has that restraining order against me, right, Connor?
Yeah.
Yep. He's one of his favorite fans. And we have somebody new here. Alex, what's up, Alex?
Nothing much. Just getting through the NFL season. Then I can worry about the draft for the Giants. Just 3 more weeks.
That's a positive mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just worried about the draft at this point.
And you guys didn't have any Pro Bowlers, so like
last year Ingram made the Pro Bowl with over 10 drops. So honestly, the Pro Bowl doesn't mean that much to me anymore.
That's
honestly true. That headline alone is like, if ever Ingram can make the Pro Bowl with making 10 drops, you can do anything in life.
Yeah, essentially.
All right. So again, we have a lot of games to cover. Let's start with our Thursday night football game. The 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers travel to the Tennessee to play the Attack on Titan. I'm sorry. I've been watching the show for Attack on Titans lately. It's a pretty good show, by the way. The Tennessee Titans. Let's talk about the 49ers, who just came out of nowhere. Like, it was like they started the season at like kind of like in a slow pace, and now it seems like they're picking it up. Like, how important is this game for the 49ers?
I think it's really important because if you look right now, I believe they're 8-6. Yeah. They're not that far away from winning that division. So there's still a chance that they could win this division, or even move up to the 5 seed at least. So I think it's very much important to them. And they're playing a playoff caliber team, even though they're a little shaky at times in the Titans. But I feel like this will also show on the main stage. We saw them show up last time the lights were bright against the Rams. We'll see if they can do it against another playoff contending team with the Titans.
Well, I 100% agree with you, Alex, but I don't really know if they could win the division. Maybe move up to the 5 seed.
Yeah.
Because, hold on, I'm going to pull up the 49ers remaining schedule, because after tonight, they got the Texans.
Yeah. And that's
could be an easy win. But what is the key word here, folks? Should.
Yeah. Better not be a trap game for them.
It could be, Alex.
Yeah.
100%. It could be.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna end the year against the Rams.
Yeah. Who's a team that if they beat, they could move up to 5th, and then probably the Rams would fall to 6 or 7, and they would have a chance potentially with we're talking about the Cardinals later on. They've been on a slippery slope, so they could easily fall down the ranks as well. So they could. I'm still saying that they could win that division. Not saying they will, just saying they have that.
Also, with the playoff implications, aside from the division, what teams have to keep losing though? Minnesota and Philadelphia.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but
Minnesota
they
and Philadelphia got to keep
too.
losing.
And Washington.
But the
Yeah, I
thing
think-
is,
yeah,
they got
Washington
a
as
couple
well.
game lead on both, all of them. So that helps them out in that case too.
Right.
So, when we talk about MVP candidates, we're talking about Tom Brady. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. And another guy who should probably be the top case, Jonathan Taylor. And we'll talk about him a little later. Deebo Samuel has been very, very below the radar. Which, I mean, if you watch Friday, anybody named Deebo, you watch out for, because he will steal your money and steal your bike and mess you up. But we're not talking about that Deebo. We're talking about Deebo Samuel. Is he an MVP candidate?
I don't think so. I really don't. I think he's like a top 8 guy, maybe. He's very important to
Have
his
you seen
team.
his rushing? His
Yeah, no, you can do the rushing too, but the thing is, like, with you got Cooper Kupp, who is outperforming him on a receiving level, who's in the same division, who is putting up historical numbers, but he's not going to be in the MVP race because he isn't breaking every single record, and wide receivers, it's tough to do. Tom Brady had a bad game, but I still think he's, top 3. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is more important to that team than Deebo is to the San Francisco. And also, too, when you did see him out, they still played the game that they normally play. It's just that he's very explosive. He's an explosive player, which is important for a team.
That's fair. Alex?
Yeah, I think, honestly, these days it's really hard for a wide receiver to really, I guess, like in the case of Deebo Samuel, it's just he doesn't have enough recognition to really get much MVP votes. Like Jonathan Taylor is on a record that has so many touchdowns. I actually saw a stat a few weeks ago that he has about as many touchdowns as the whole Giants offense has on the season. So when you're pretty much outscoring a single team, that's when you start to get a lot of recognition, in my opinion.
Okay, Alex, first, I want to begin, buddy, when you mentioned that they have more offense than the Giants. First, I would like to start my statement by saying this.
Yeah.
Now that that's over, it's been my running gag this week. But anyway, answering your question, Eric, I don't think so. Because one, there is a quarterback bias for MVP. So, and I don't think there really is a clear front runner now, but if I were to say there was, if we're going quarterbacks, I would say it's going to be either Rodgers or Brady. And I would have said Brady a while ago, but if anyone watched on Tuesday night, our good friend Mike Rifkin, shout out to him, made an excellent point when he said the V stands for valuable. The Packers lost the game. Rodgers was out with COVID. So,
yeah, and they couldn't do anything without him.
Yeah, but anyway, that aside, when I think of if I were to pick non-QB candidates for MVP, I'm going to say it's either going to be.
Well, we'll talk about non-QB candidates a little later.
Yeah.
But
I have a final
just finish
point.
my statement and then we'll get into
Bill, then me, and then Eric. Because
if you're asking me for who would be a non-QB candidate for MVP, I think it's going to be either Jonathan Taylor or Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. And just one more final point too. Like when you look at Deebo's stats right now, he's about 1,000-yard receiver, a little bit over, and he's around the 300 mark for rushing. He's basically like a running back stat, but with Christian McCaffrey got 1,000 season last year, and he wasn't. 2 years ago, it wasn't in that MVP race. And I feel like if you're a wide receiver, he would need like 1,500 yards receiving and, 800 or 900 yards rushing to be in the MVP race, I would say.
Yeah. So very key thing to note here. There's never been a wide receiver to win MVP. The last running back
You're right.
to win MVP it was Adrian Peterson.
Yep.
And it's been quarterbacks ever since. You can argue that they deserved it, but yeah, it's been it's been all quarterbacks ever since. Last running back was Adrian Peterson. He did deserve it because AB is just. Jimmy
isn't
G.
it? Wait, I was just gonna say, isn't it crazy that there's actually a kicker that won MVP?
Dang, really?
That is true. Yeah, Mark Mosley in the 1982 season for the Washington football team. He won the award because it was a strike season. The league was on strike. So he won MVP that year as a kicker.
Urban Meyer wasn't kicking him. I mean, huh?
You'll never see that again. That's something you'll never see again. But yeah, back to you.
Never.
Give that fun fact.
Yeah, wow. So Jimmy G, he's been playing like Jimmy G, honestly. Like Jimmy G is like he's a quarterback. He's a quarterback of you get what you get. Nothing special. If the 49ers decide to be like, okay, we don't want you anymore, what team does he go to?
Well, I heard a rumor today. I don't know how true this is going to be. And it kind of doesn't make sense. He's going to be a free agent, but the rumor is that he's going to get traded to the Giants for Daniel Jones and a third-round pick. That's the rumor. But, you heard it too,
I don't know
Alex?
how much sense that makes for San Francisco.
It really doesn't. Connor, come to think about it, it really doesn't, because in 49ers, what are you getting in return?
Yeah.
You're getting basically a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Because you're basically going to have, because if Jimmy G goes, Trey Lance is your guy.
Uh-huh.
If you're San Francisco and Jimmy G goes bye-bye, Trey Lance is your guy. If you're basically getting a backup quarterback who may or may not play next year because of his neck injury. So that makes absolutely no sense. But I don't know, maybe Jimmy G going to here's what I'm thinking. I think maybe him coming to the Giants is a very slim possibility. And I also let you chime in a second. But maybe I could see Jimmy G going to Seattle, depending on what happens with Russell Wilson. Yeah, so I'm thinking either the Giants, which is or if I was to do a wild card, maybe Pittsburgh.
That would be an interesting fit, honestly.
Yeah.
Alex, what do you think, buddy?
Well, the thing about Jimmy G, I never quite understood really what he is, because he was under Bill Belichick before being traded to San Francisco, and I still think Kyle Shanahan is one of the best offensive coaches in the league. So I kind of question how he would do with the Giants, really, given he doesn't have an innovative offense around him. And that kind of makes me think that even though Daniel Jones probably is a backup at this point, he might do a little better under Shanahan, who's very innovative and can put him in the right spots. But in terms of where Jimmy G might go, I think Seattle is an interesting option that could make sense. Just that they're probably expected to rebuild and they'll probably move on from Russell Wilson. Also, I like the Pittsburgh because that's interesting as well, because they have good offensive playmakers and Ben Roethlisberger's retiring. So I could see that as well. But also, I wouldn't be surprised to see him back with the Patriots. I mean, I know they have Mac Jones, but maybe if no one else wants him, he could just reunite with Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels. So we'll see.
What I think we could see potentially him go to Cleveland, because I don't think that organization believes that Baker's the guy. Like, they wanted to, but after this disappointing of a season and them really missing expectations by a long shot, Jimmy G might be the answer there, honestly. He's a better passer than Baker is. Maybe doesn't have the wheels of Baker. I mean, Baker's not the most mobile quarterback really either, but
he's too busy with doing progressive commercials.
Yeah. I could see him going to Cleveland. That would be an interesting trade or signing, I guess.
Yeah, like Bill kind of like read my mind. I was saying either the Giants, maybe Seattle, maybe even Carolina. If you hear me, if you think about it, they might want to really, really, really shake things up, because that whole organization is probably going to go for a rebuild. Because
I was thinking about like
big failure.
I don't see Seattle, because since it's a divisional, I mean, like I guess he could sign there, but I just don't feel like they would have to definitely trade Russell before that signing would take place, though.
Yeah, I feel like Jimmy G would probably be like one of the last people on the list we'd see go. Like, it would, like, depending on where Rodgers goes or stays, or with Russell Wilson goes or stays. I think that's going to determine where Jimmy G goes.
Because who are going to be the two big ones that everyone's going to want? It's going to be either Rodgers or Russell. It's going to be either Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. So
there's some good guys. A Derek Carr could be potentially on the market this next year too, as well.
But I'm thinking if he goes to the Giants, which again I think is a very slim possibility.
I think it's slim based off of the trade that you were mentioning with the Daniel Jones.
I cannot confirm that. I read that on ESPN, so please do not hold me to that. But if he goes to the Giants, I could see them doing like what they did in New England. Like, Brady leaves. Not that I'm comparing Daniel Jones to Tom Brady. It's not even a competition. But
imagine that comparison. The GOAT and Daniel Jones.
But how Brady leaves, packs up his swimsuit for South Tampa. Oh God, even Nolan found that shit funny.
Stretching.
Carter, you better replace with the dog. Anyway, Brady leaves. And then you get Cam for a year, and then you got Mac Jones. Like, could we be seeing something similar with that? I'm not 100% sure, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
if that could happen, like Daniel Jones, whatever happens to him, then we get Jimmy G for a year, and then new quarterback comes. Who knows? But I really don't know where Jimmy G's going. I'm going to say either the Giants, Seattle, and I think what Connor brought up with Cleveland, I think that's a very good point as well.
Yeah. Also, Denver kind of makes sense now that I think
Denver, I think, would make good sense.
Yeah.
So, moving on, let's talk about the Tennessee Titans. They are somehow, despite being injured, well, actually, I got to ask this question: are the Titans kind of a what-if team? Because if you got Derrick Henry, if he was healthy, you had Julio Jones and AJ Brown, if they were healthy. Like, are they a what-if team?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just personally, I think as a team, I don't see them reaching the potential that we think they ever will. Because I don't think Julio is ever going to be the same Julio personally. I said the same thing about Gurley, and now Gurley's been out of the league. I think Julio's next, honestly, from a standpoint of like a guy that we love to watch. just loses his spot. AJ Brown hopefully comes back healthy next year. Derrick Henry the same. But yeah, definitely I agree with that, the what if thing. But I think they've done a good job with what they have had with Foreman and all their pieces there.
And it also helps they play in a very weak division.
Yeah.
Like they get to play Jacksonville and Houston twice a year. That's going to help them too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry, you were asking, are the Titans a what if team?
Yeah.
I'm just hold on. I'm pulling something up here. Give me 1 second. Okay. The Titans can, but if you look on Sunday, the Titans can win. The Titans can win the division if they win and the Colts lose on Sunday.
Saturday.
Thank you. But they can clinch a playoff berth with a win. Miami loses or ties. Buffalo loses. Denver loses or ties. Cleveland loses or ties. Okay, this is very confusing. But
Don't worry about like what the situations. It's really, are they a what if team? If they had all their pieces healthy, where would they be now? Would they be better? Would they be worse?
I think if their pieces were healthy, or at least even just Derrick Henry, I feel like this team would definitely clinch the 1 seed or be at least close with Kansas City right now.
Honestly. Yeah, definitely.
So,
and they're not that far away from Kansas City, but I just feel like with the role that Kansas City's been on, there's no way that they can't lose that 1 seed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over the teams. Like, I'm going to kind of compare the teams from the in the AFC, and basically I want you guys to say either yes or no if Tennessee is better than them. I'm going to start with like all the way in the bottom of the bubble row up to basically the number 1 seed. All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
So Broncos.
Yes.
Definitely.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yes.
Yeah. Miami.
They could, but Miami's been on a bit of a roll lately. So
yeah,
Miami's tough.
Yeah.
I would take Miami.
Alex?
I mean, it kind of like I would say Tennessee just in terms of roster, but honestly, the way Miami's going, like on paper, I'd take Tennessee over Miami, but the way it's been lately, I'd take Miami over them.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Titans are better.
I'd take Titans.
Yeah. Steelers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ravens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though
if
they're also a what if team.
Huh?
They're also a what if team, with how many injuries
if the Ravens were healthy, then no, but now, yeah. Buffalo.
I would take them. I mean, you saw them win earlier in the season, and that was with Derrick Henry. But I feel like they've been a more consistent team than Buffalo. Buffalo's been losing games that they should be winning.
I would take 10. The Chargers.
You mean the Bills?
I would.
You mean the Titans, right?
Yeah.
No.
We're on the Chargers now.
Yeah, we're on Chargers.
Oh no, I didn't get to say with the Bills. I'm gonna first with Buffalo. I'm gonna say without Derrick Henry, it's gonna be tough. I think they could take them. The Chargers.
I would take the Chargers.
I'd take Tennessee.
I would probably take Tennessee as well, because whatchamacallit, Derrick Henry could be back by week 18 at the earliest.
Yeah.
Indy.
I would take Indy.
Yeah, they're
Indy,
a scary
you know,
team right now. They are a
Indy,
scary team.
100%. Cincy.
Yeah, I'd take Tennessee over them.
I would take Tennessee over Cincy.
I would take Cincy.
Oh, really?
I know they're inconsistent, but their offense is, when they're on fire, they're on fire.
True.
Yeah.
Patriots.
Yeah, that's not even a question.
And Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City right now.
So basically, if we kind of go by their, if we kind of went by what we said, they'd be down in the like 5th seed, 6th seed, maybe.
Yeah, I see them as like a 5th or 6th seed.
I think it was kind of funny. I usually watch a urinating tree week sports bowl, and being that he's a Steelers fan, he was going off. He's like, "This means the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. I don't care. The Steelers are going to the Super Bowl." Oh man! All right, so yeah, Niners and Titans. So we got that done out with. Let's go with Saturday. Fast forward to Saturday. Cleveland Browns versus the Green Bay Packers. This should not even be a game. It shouldn't be a game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Cleveland. How is it they had such a high expectation this year? The only team that gave Kansas City a run for the, I said this again, wow, I sound like a broken record or bell. They had such high expectations from last year just to end up being not even in the playoff hunt right now. Mm-hmm. What is going on with them? Is it the coach? Is it Baker? Is it Cleveland in general? Like, what is it?
I think it's Baker.
I was going to say one was Baker when he has played. He's just so inconsistent. Also, like, he doesn't have really a lot of weapons, especially that Odell's gone. But he wasn't throwing to Odell in the first place. And, I just feel like the injury bug really hurt that team, because, like, you had Hunt miss so many games. Chubb was out. You had to rely on a lot of backups, not only on the running backs, but also the O-line as well. And whenever they were needed to win and they were put in a good spot to win, they always would fall and they would pull the old Cleveland Browns way. So that's why, personally, one, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. And two, I think it's time you move on from Baker. You get a veteran quarterback in either Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo and kind of go on from there, honestly. I think those guys could lead the team to potentially a Super Bowl.
I agree. So,
I think with Cleveland, I think it's like most of what Connor said, because Baker's been inconsistent. Injuries have been stocking up, and of course the whole COVID thing.
Mm-hmm.
And them losing Odell
just
back
affected them like this past week. This is just another fuel to the fire kind of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Cleveland has just been facing problem after problem after problem after problem after problem. You get it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like, at the same time, I kind of feel like it was on Odell. I kind of feel like he's kind of a cancer to a team, honestly.
I would say he is, cancerous to a team, and he's kind of, but if you look at the videos that his dad was posting and just him in general and just Baker as a player, he's very insufficient. He's average at best. He's a 20th probably ranked quarterback in the league when you look at him and compare him to the rest of the league. And as all these other quarterbacks have developed more, such as his fellow draft mates, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. He's been near the bottom of the list. He's been a better version of Sam Darnold, basically.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I would agree with that.
We brought up the S word to Eric, Sam Darnold.
I'm sorry, dog.
Anyway, so let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. I was saying I said this to somebody today. There's a couple of things that I would not be able to stop. A fast moving train and Aaron Rodgers. The look on this man's face, I would say the Packers as a team, but no, Aaron Rodgers, this guy looks like he's just out for blood.
I mean, hopefully they don't choke in the NFC Championship game again. I mean, I've seen him back in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Could the Packers actually make it to the big game this year?
I think this has been one of the best teams for them, honestly, and especially defensively. They've held a lot of good teams, such as the Chiefs. Also the Rams as well, if I remember correctly. I believe they held the Rams pretty well. But they've done a good job holding offenses, and Aaron Rodgers just has been able to hit everybody. And I don't think this is maybe as good of a year as last year's MVP year, but they're just on fire. And with Devontae Adams, you pair the best wide receiver with arguably the best quarterback in the league right now. It's dynamite every time that they're on the field.
Another thing I've noticed about them is that the other receivers have stepped up. Lazard has stepped up. Marquez Valdes-Scantling has stepped up. This is what the Packers really needed. They needed somebody to step up, and I kind of think once they saw Randall Cobb join the team, it was like, oh, sweat, this dude ain't playing. We gotta step the heck up. And even you look at Robert Tonyan, freaking Aaron Jones, just kind of killing it out there in the backfield. Like, this team is just that team. I look at that team and it's just dangerous.
And you also got AJ Dillon too. Those two have created one of the best backfields in the league. So yeah, they are
AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones is what Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt should have been.
Yes. I mean, they normally are. I mean, let's not act like Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb weren't, both 1,000-yard rushers last year, and they were both like top 10 running backs in the league, fantasy wise. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. This year, they were probably the best duo in the whole league.
Yeah. So going back to the so is this like Aaron Rodgers' last, like, is this like his like MJ, my last farewell tour? Like, is this it for him, or does he stay?
I'm gonna say if Rodgers can keep going, I think Green Bay would be a fool to not try to keep him.
Yeah.
Green Bay would be a fool not to keep him. At this point, I would say, even though it's not really about them, actually, I think it could go either way. Because at one point, if he gets you to the playoffs, or if he gets you to the freaking Super Bowl, I'd be marching a freaking blank check to his door and saying, name your price.
Yeah, I just feel like they won't keep, it's not really that they won't keep him. I think it's more like, I think he's just done. Like, because I feel like he wanted to retire last year, but he wants to do one more big, last dance, as Eric put it. And I think he retires after this year, especially if he does, win an MVP and a Super Bowl this year. And what would that make him? A 4-time MVP if he wins this year? Yeah. So I think he's retiring. But you never know. You never know.
But if he decides to keep going, but you know what? I think on one hand they'd be a fool to not keep him. But I think Green Bay ownership may not be too thrilled about. May not be. Oh, by the way, this was his third MVP. Connor, third.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but this has been fact checked with Bill. What was I saying? Oh yeah. But I think Green Bay ownership with the whole thing that happened earlier this year, with him getting what, is Green Bay going to want the headache again?
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, if he does say I'm going to keep playing, I don't know if it's going to be in Green Bay or somewhere else. Then the Green Bay Packers better march a freaking blank check to his door and say, name your price.
Rodgers rate.
Exactly.
Wait, correction. I looked it up. I said fourth. This was going to be his fourth if he wins this year, and it was.
No. I thought you meant he already had 3 MVPs.
No. Yeah, well, he does already have 3, and then.
Okay, Connor, my mistake. I apologize.
All good. I just wanted to correct the correction.
So
okay, I was wrong, guys. It happens.
Honestly, my thing. I mean, I'm not honestly kind of made up a good point. Like he may just say F it and just he can retire. He's gonna be first ballot Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he wins the Super Bowl, it'll be a lot easier to decide that.
Yeah, but to be honest, though, he's probably still pissed at Green Bay for what they did at the 2020 draft.
Jordan Love.
Also, too, the thing is, this could help switch the debate, too, about the GOAT, potentially. Because let's say Rodgers does win. He'll have 4 MVPs. That's more than everyone except Peyton Manning. So that puts him in elite company. Then he gets 2 rings. I think that puts him in a lot better perspective.
You know what? It's like I was telling you the other day when on the Tuesday night version of Sunday Sideline, it's like what Mike Rifkin said. It's like what our dear friend Mike Rifkin said. If you're going with Brady and Rodgers, yes, Brady has been breaking records this year. But if you look at Aaron Rodgers, the game he was out because he had COVID, Green Bay lost. Because what does the V in MVP stand for?
Valuable.
Exactly. So Aaron Rodgers leads that team. So if I think there's a chance of MVP because of quarterback bias, it's going to come down between Brady and Rodgers.
So here's my honest opinion of what Rodgers will happen. What will happen? It's either Rodgers wins Super Bowl and he retires happily and gracefully, or they lose. Rodgers goes to the Broncos. They win a Super Bowl, and then he retires. One of those two is going to happen.
Like Peyton Manning.
Literally, like Peyton Manning,
and John Elway.
Peyton Manning, John Elway.
John Elway's a Colt, and then he ended up going to the Broncos, winning 2 championships.
I thought it was like he refused to be drafted by the Colts, and that's why they traded him to the Broncos, if my memory serves.
Yeah.
Because I think he only played for the Broncos his whole career. Like John Elway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's on this. So that's Saturday game. Browns and Packers. We're not even going to talk about who wins that game. Let's go to to an important game. Cardinals, Colts, the Indianapolis Colts versus Arizona Cardinals. What the heck is happening to the Cardinals?
They're slipping.
I think
it may have been a trap game against the Lions. Yeah.
I think one of the biggest factors is I think that without DeAndre Hopkins being there, he's out now. I feel like that takes away Kyler Murray's biggest weapon other than his legs, obviously. I know he didn't put up the numbers that he normally puts up, but I feel like having that guy, in DeAndre Hopkins be like double covered, it leaves more people open. So I feel like that's one of the biggest problems with this team. And I just feel like Kyler Murray, if he struggles after or like a couple plays or one drive in total, he just feels like he has to make a play every single time. I think that's one of his biggest problems. He always wants to make that big play, even if it costs them, an interception or a fumble.
I feel like the Cardinals are semi-exposed now.
Definitely.
I don't know who exposed them. I mean, we'll see definitely later on, but they got exposed offensively. Defensively, they're still playing to their potential a little bit. But offensively, they got exposed, and D Hop being hurt is not helping them.
Oh, that was a big dent.
And it kind of proves that again. I still think Cliff Kingsbury is a fraud. There's no reason why that team should be. I mean, with the roster you have, that team should. I feel like the team should have more wins, but that's my honest opinion. I do think Cliff Kingsbury is kind of a fraud in a way, but they have been struggling, and it was I don't want to say that it was a trap game against the Lions. The Lions whooped them. Like, they got whooped by suckish teams. They got whooped by the Lions. They got whooped by the Panthers.
Panthers was earlier on, though, I think.
Yeah, Panthers were early on, but still. But all the other games were close. They lost to the Packers by 3 points. They lost to
the Rams by 7, I think.
By 7 points. Yeah. So it's like good teams they lost close by. Other teams they lost by a lot. And
but
honestly,
did the Cardinals really get exposed this weekend, Eric, or do you think maybe it was just a bad game?
I think that Lions team was hungry for a win, man. They've been, especially with Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift both being out this week, they were able to do that. That shows that Dan Campbell should keep his job, and that this team in a couple of years, if they get the right pieces, could be a pretty scary team with that motivation from Campbell. Also, you saw it even when he was in Miami and filled in after Philbin or whatever his name was got fired. He took over a little bit for the Dolphins, and they had a good winning streak, but he didn't end up getting rehired there.
The Lions just got horrible luck early on, like with Justin Tucker's 66-yard field goal. But I don't doubt Dan Campbell's passion. He cried during a press conference, and I have faith that he'll turn the Lions into a winner if they draft the right pieces this year and upcoming.
He's probably the most passionate head coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Colts. Again, another team that started slow, and I felt like people were saying like, "Oh man, this team might be a bust. This team might suck." But now they're starting to get it together, and the Colts always scare me. They have a good O-line, they have a good defense, and a solid run game. Like, will the Colts make it to the playoffs? How far are they going to go?
I mean, honestly, like right now, I was gonna say, like, probably given right now, I would be surprised if they make it past the divisional round, just given the seeding. But I think they could go further if they had more home field advantage.
Yeah, I think they go further. Even I mean, yeah, home field definitely helped, but yeah, I do think they go further than where there are.
I think I kind of agree with Alex. I think like the shortest they could go is probably the divisional round. But I think if they get past the divisional round, I think they could possibly get to the championship because I think the wild card they would be playing if the season were they would be playing the Bengals in the wild card, and I think they can beat the Bengals. But if they are the highest remaining seed, they're going to be playing either the Chiefs or the Pats. If the if they could beat they just beat the Pats last week, so they could probably beat them again. But if they're up against the Chiefs, because that Chiefs team really just snapped it up this year. They really just because everybody was like, "Oh, the Chiefs overrated," and all that team's atrocious, and they just turned it around. So if they could face the Chiefs this year, that's going to be a very, very scary team.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Colts are a top 3 team in the AFC. I would say Chiefs, then the Patriots, and then I would say the Colts. Actually, I would put the Colts ahead of the Patriots. So I would say they're the second best team in the AFC. I honestly think those 2 teams could be the championship game. The Colts and the Chiefs.
That would be a good game.
If my memory serves, I think that was the last time Andrew Luck played was against the Chiefs in the playoffs in 2018, and then he retired the following August.
Yeah,
That might be right, actually.
Yeah, I just remembered that like that because I think the Chiefs, the Colts got knocked out by the Chiefs in the divisional round in 2018, and then Andrew Luck retired during the preseason the following year. So yeah, that's just something that came to mind.
So we have so now we're on our latter part of tonight's show. So let's talk about the top 5 sleeper playoff teams for this year. Top 5 sleeper playoff teams. We're gonna go by basically Bill, you go first, and Alex and Connor, then me. And yeah, and we'll do that. All right.
My top 5 teams, my top 5 sleeper playoff teams is I'm going with the Saints. I think they really I think that team is really hungry right now. They're really just waking up. My number 4 would probably be the Ravens. Because even though they are hurt, they are still holding on. I think Tyler Huntley's playing pretty good right now. My number 3 would probably, and as a Giants fan, I hate to say it, would probably be the Eagles. Even though they're not a great team, they're still hanging on in there. My number 2, and shout out to our good friend Mike Rifkin, I think the Miami Dolphins could really come back here and possibly get into the playoffs. And my number 1 is because I think this team has a lot on the line, and that is the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I think that's I'll give it to Alex. Yeah, you go.
I think like the pretty much the number 1 sleeper for me is the Chargers because Justin Herbert still amazes me, even though like he's very young, and I feel like I say that all the time, but like the Chargers are probably my number 1 sleeper. Like also I agree with Bill that the Dolphins and the Eagles are sleepers as well, even though obviously I hate the Eagles. I think like they might be a hard team to knock out or deal with if they make it in. The Vikings, of course, I think they're a sleeper as well. Just I don't know about Kirk Cousins. They have weapons like Justin Jefferson, obviously. And my last one, would be the Colts because I think like like even though we obviously think they're great, I think they're underrated by the NFL. The Colts, like just the cheat.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah. So yeah, like the Colts, Dolphins, Eagles, Vikings, and Chargers are my 5 sleeper teams. Just to recap.
Yeah. That's pretty close to my list. I would say I have the Colts as the number 1 because they've just been playing better, not better basketball. Sorry. I also do the basketball podcast. You can take a listen to Throwdown. But yeah, I'd say the Colts, number 1, they've been playing great football. I think you gotta, even though they haven't been playing great football, I think the Bills should also be thought about too. And just because, they went to the AFC Championship last year, they're hungry. Chargers, we mentioned before, just they're a great team with a lot of great pieces. You got Eckler, got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. I think that team could pull up a couple upsets, and they went to toe to toe last week with the Chiefs. So it shows that they got firepower to them. I think Bengals, they have the firepower also to compete. I know that's a lot of AFC teams, but I trust the AFC teams more as dark horses. And then I also agree with the Eagles pick too. I feel like they've been playing teams really close all year. They're not the most talented team, but I think they could pull up an upset.
All right.
So here are my sleeper teams. So my number 1 would be the I'm gonna go with the 49ers. Not 5
Damn,
would
I
be
forgot
the 49ers.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Huh?
I'm mad I didn't think of the 49ers. Yeah,
49ers. I think they're a sleeper. Rams, another team. I think they're going to be a sleeper team, that a good sleeper team. I gotta go with the Ravens and Steelers. I think if they make it, they could make a splash in the playoffs, especially with it being Big Ben's last year. And the Ravens defense is a good defense. And my number 1 is the Colts. Again, I think as long as Frank Reich is coaching that team, as long as that team is just all around solid, they will always be my sleeper team until otherwise proven. Yeah. So all right. So we got that. Top 5 Christmas movies.
Okay, looks like I'm going first. Oh boy. Okay. God, I really should have thought about this more. My number 5, I'm going to say Nightmare Before Christmas. Number 4 is, I'm going to say National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. A little dry, Clark. Number 3. Oh, God, I really should have specified if I wanted to put just movies or TV specials in there, too. Well, you know what? Since I came up with this, I'll put in TV specials. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm fair. Fair game.
Yeah. Hey, my list, my rules, buddy. My list, my rules. My number 3 would probably be Year Without a Santa Claus. My number 2 would be The Muppet Christmas Carol. And my number 1 would be the original 1967 Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay, that's fair. I would say for mine, I would have both of the Grinches. I love the Grinch story. So I like the cartoon one too, as well as the 2003 version.
2000.
Yeah, 2000 version. Yeah. I would also take. I like the SpongeBob Santa Claus episode, the Christmas episode. Just watched that last night. It was a great time.
But Santa's coming tonight. That one.
Yeah, that one. Christmas, National Lampoon Christmas. I like that one too. And you got to go the classic Charlie Brown Christmas episode, The Peanuts. I think that's a classic. So I'm going with that one as well.
Yeah, I think for me, my favorite all time is Home Alone. Like that's just a classic. Like Home Alone 2 is also good as well. After that, it really wasn't that fun anymore once Macaulay Culkin left. And also, of course, yeah, Grinch Stole Christmas. That the original one I like a lot. The newer one is okay too. Just like the original one gives me more nostalgia.
Yeah.
Also, this is kind of a weird pick, but like Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh that came out in 2008. That one was
good.
Yeah. And then of course National Lampoon's Vacation is a classic as well. So yeah.
So I'm surprised no one chose this. Well, this is kind of like an honorable mention. I'm trying to decide which Home Alone I like better, one or two. Because
They're both pretty
good.
funny.
Yeah. But my other honorable mention would be Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
5, I'd say yeah, either one of the Home Alones, or would be Elf. Yeah, 4 would be Elf. 3 would be
I forgot about that one.
3 would be How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one. 2, Arthur Christmas. And number 1 is Klaus. If you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix. It's really good.
I can't complain with any of the choices. I thought we all picked pretty solid
I think
choices.
we all picked decent ones.
And so, being that it's Christmas, Christmas is on Saturday. What game, if you could like travel to any basketball game,
Ooh.
being either the Atlanta Hawks at the Knicks, Celtics at the Bucks, Warriors at the Suns, Nets at the Lakers, or Dallas at Utah, which game would you travel to?
I mean, it would be fun to see LeBron James. Man, low key, if you want to, first, you want to get the experience to see LeBron, you go to the Lakers game. But if we're going for best quality game, I'm going to say go to the Suns Warriors. Those two are the best 2 teams in basketball right now. That's going to be a really good game. So watch that game, definitely.
I'm gonna have to say I'm probably would go to LA just to see LeBron, see the Nets,
Mhm.
Lakers.
I'd probably go Warriors and Suns as well, just because like they're the two of the best teams right now. So that's like best for you if you want entertainment and a good game. That's clearly the best choice.
So my honorable mention would be the Celtics and the Bucks. But yeah, my first pick would be the Warriors and the Suns. Yeah, I think that's just going to be a really, really good game to see. So it's time for our game predictions. Starting with the Thursday night game. Tonight's actually, you know what? Let's back up a little bit. Why not? I'm going to page it up. Why not? Why? Because I feel like it. Christmas Day game, football wise. Colts, Cardinals. Who's your picks?
Yeah.
Colts.
Bill, there we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. What happened?
No, I couldn't hear you at first. You're good now.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I'm going Colts 24, Cardinals 21.
It's good.
I'm going Colts 31, Cardinals 28.
I'm gonna go Colts 28, Cardinals 24.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts too by 3 points. That's all I got. I don't know the score exactly. This Colts win by 3. Browns versus Packers.
I'm going with the Packers 24-14.
I am going with the Packers as well, 28-10.
Go Packers 31-20.
I'm going with the Green Bay Packers 48-20. 10.
Well, none of
Damn.
us do not like Cleveland right now.
Yeah.
Cleveland probably don't like me by now.
So Baker
All right.
Mayfield is overrated. So yeah.
Overrated.
And then you have tonight's game, the 49ers and the Tennessee Titans. Who wins this game?
Jeez, it's a tough one.
I'm saying I'm taking the 49ers this one. I'm going 21-17. I think it's the lowest scoring game today.
I'm gonna kind of agree with Connor. I'm gonna say 49ers 20-14.
I'm gonna do a different pick just because they're at home. I'm gonna pick the Titans here, even though I do think it'll be very close. I'm gonna say 24-21, something like that.
Man. We should next year we got to keep score on see who's right and wrong. I gotta go. I'm gonna go with the Niners. I think the Niners will win. I'm gonna go Niners win by 10 points. And so that's our show, guys. Woo woo. Will it be our season finale? Probably not. I would expect us to
We're gonna be doing
the playoff games.
We're gonna be doing the Saturday playoff games.
And then
We don't know if we're
we'll
gonna be doing them on Thursday night or if we're gonna be doing them like if it's Saturday games, if we're gonna be doing them Saturday morning. We should know by the end of next week or maybe the following week.
And then the Saturday, and then the Super Bowl. We are going to do a big show for that. I believe we are. So stay tuned for that. Also, stay tuned on Sunday as with our favorite guy Mike Rifkin as he's going to do the Sunday sideline report. But as for now, thank you for joining us. Thank you for our commentary guys, Alex, Connor, and the legendary Tom Brady's favorite number one fan, same as Alex favorite number one fan. Yo, this is
Thank
Big
you,
Brother
folks.
signing off. Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Take care.